There's usually three big indicators that lets you know you haven't fully reached that space of having a complete secure attachment style, right? And I want to give you these because I think when you're on that journey of becoming healed and whole, so you can have a healthy relationship, right? And get to a place to where you have more of a secure attachment instead of a anxious one or an avoidant one, it's really important to know some of the little signs that let you know you're not fully there yet, so you don't take your foot off the gas and keep trying to push forward towards that growth and that healing to fully be the version of yourself you want to be, to have the chance of having the best relationship and relationships that you can have. The first sign is when you still have a little bit of a fear of abandonment or rejection, right? To where you feel safe and secure overall in your relationship and you don't sit there every day questioning, if your partner's going to leave you or bail and all that stuff. But somewhere deep down, it crosses your mind from time to time on whether they're still as committed as you would like them to be. If you're doing enough or if you're doing your part enough to where they're happy enough, right? To where even though you feel solid for the most part, is that little thing that makes you keep saying to yourself, I'm just not 1,000% sure. I'm pretty sure, but, I think there's a chance they could still leave me. And you're fearful of that. The main piece is the fear behind it. Yes, we all understand that our partners could leave us at some point, right? That's what makes being in a relationship with someone that you love and they love you for healthy reasons a great thing, because you both choose to be there. You don't need to be there. But it's different when you go from the awareness of your partner potentially having the ability to leave and how you may feel if they do that, to you having a legit fear deep down that may be what happens at some point, right? It's the fear part, because that speaks to an unresolved concern within you that you're not fully enough. And that starts to expose that there might still be some elements of insecurity within yourself, right? There's the other piece. If you actually fear your partner walking away from you, then it also says that there's a part of yourself that still hasn't been fully filled in. There's a void still, to where if you fear them leaving versus you just don't want them to leave and you'd be hurt if they left, if you fear it, that means there's a part of you that feels you'll lose something when they leave, right? They'll take something that you need to be okay with them when they go. The second sign, still having some troubles trusting fully or being fully vulnerable. You may be a lot more trusting and vulnerable than you've ever been, right? And for the most part, you're open about most things. You're transparent. You guys can talk about just about anything for the most part. But there's still those little small areas inside you that you're like, I don't know if I trust you enough to tell you my full truth, everything, all my little secrets, the ones that I wouldn't want my worst enemy to know, right? If you still have a space in yourself to where you can't trust fully and blindly in that way, or maybe you still have a hard time trusting blindly that your partner's not doing anything, even in situations where it may appear without having further evidence that something's off, right? Your mind still goes to, hey, they're suspicious versus curiosity to understand. And when it comes to vulnerability, yeah, you have no problem sharing, right? You open up, you express your feelings, you talk about your emotions and things like that. You hear theirs and all that. But when it comes to the deepest, most sensitive emotions, right? The feelings and the things, the thoughts you have, or the feelings around different things that you struggle to share with others because you don't want to be judged or you're insecure about them or whatever the case is, those ones you withhold, right? You don't let that part out to your partner, right? You can't fully be vulnerable with full transparency. Or maybe you feel a concern with your partner about something and you have a hard time telling them your full truth because you don't want it to ruin a relationship or whatever the case is, because maybe they'll leave or whatever, things will fall apart. But because you've gotten so much better living in your truth for the most part, right? You tell them how you feel. You open up with different things, but you're not telling them the core stuff. You're not telling them the meat and potatoes, the raw feelings and thoughts that are going through your mind. You're not sharing that to them. You take whatever your truth is and you morph it into a version of the truth, right? Something that, you feel will land well and won't offend, or something that will kind of get the point across, or it'll kind of get the picture, but you don't have to risk telling the rawness of how you really feel that you are scared to share or insecure to share or whatever. And the third biggest sign and giveaway is overreacting to relationship challenges, where even though you've gotten so much better on navigating relationship challenges with your partner, you created better patterns and better habits. Whenever it's the right type of conflict, right, that strikes the right nerve, you kind of react in ways that aren't so productive. Intense emotional reactions, difficulty calming down after an argument, or seeing more minor challenges or issues as a threat to the relationship security as a whole. I'm not talking about something like infidelity, right? Something that's really major and really could make or break a relationship. I'm talking about challenges that many couples can face, disagreements on things, differences on, opinions of stuff, or maybe even value things that, yeah, if your values continue to be on polar opposites, it may end the relationship, but you can really work through it. But see, someone that has a secure attachment style that's truly there looks at the challenges with optimism always and feels confident and reassured that you guys will get through it. There's not too much of a question on if you will. It's just a matter of how and when and how long. But someone that hasn't fully developed their secure attachment will see challenges and problems that are very possible to overcome and fix and solve and resolve as possible relationship enders, right? The difference is that seed of doubt, right? Maybe in your, worthiness to be in the right relationship, or you actually deserving it, is still there, and it's funneling up and fueling thoughts and ideas of pessimism versus optimism. So to make sure your secure attachment is solid, I want you to start really doubling down on your mental and emotional awareness, right? Which means you have to really keep focusing on intentionally on building your emotional intelligence, right? Understanding your emotions, where they're rooted in, where they're coming from, and what they need from you, and how to regulate them in a productive, progressive way. I also need you to keep building trust and full vulnerability by taking steps. If there's some level of sensitivity about information that you feel insecure about sharing with your partner, or don't feel comfortable doing so, take little bit by bit steps, right? Pick one piece of it that you can share that, build the comfortability and get to the next level. Keep going all the way down to there's nothing that you can't share and nothing you can't blindly trust your partner about. And last, practice healthy conflict resolution techniques, right? Because the issue is you're concerned that if I do live in my full truth, or whatever the case is, that it might ruin things, or things that go derail if I speak my full piece, right? Be fully vulnerable, all those kind of things. So first step, practice being calm through the situation, communicating effectively with I statements to not place blame, but just to put information on the table that you guys can work with to get to your goal, and focusing on coming up with solutions together that you both can agree with and you both feel supported by. Practice this repetitiously, and I guarantee you'll start feeling way more comfortable being fully vulnerable and trusting fully in your partner as a result. As always, if you need help building your secure attachment to be fully healed, healthy, and whole and airtight, DM me coaching and we'll get to work. Let's get it.